Also says the. So wow, does it say? Are we live? You guys tell us. Yes. You guys tell. There you go. Hello. And as we go live, Stuart's internet thing reconnects. Hello all. That's hilarious. And as we go, that is hilarious. So yeah, general sci-fi today, which is exciting. Lots of non-Trek, although I'm sure there he is. Hello.
Great. Hello.
And literally as we go,
Anyway.
start. That's great.
Well, we'll see how it goes.
So I'm pretty tired. Stuart's pretty tired, but we want to come and talk to you all because we like doing that. / it's fun work. You know.
It is. Yeah, I figured we just talk about. I want to talk about specifically '80s cartoons and stuff, but I'm thinking you probably haven't watched a lot of those, so
We'll
I'll just
see.
put pulp culture.
We'll see. That's a very niche thing that you want to talk about, but I mean, we're quite a niche channel, aren't we?
Yeah.
And we don't know how long we're going to go today because if the views are here, then we'll. Yesterday we had lots and lots of viewers. Then we stayed on for a long time. If not, we won't. It's audience-driven content, isn't it? So.
Yeah,
so you vamp while I share.
Yeah. I'm just gonna quickly cover a bunch of stuff that I know that I love and that you guys probably love as well. 80s cartoons were the bomb, man. We had He-Man, Transformers, Tailspin, Darkwing Duck, G.I. Joe. I said He-Man already. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So many great cartoons and things that I still love, still collect, still influenced by, and definitely movies as well. Sci-fi, of course, there's Star Wars and all that other great stuff. There's probably a lot more sci-fi on Samuel's list than mine, but that's okay. Things like Knight Rider, Airwolf, all the cool 80s stuff. That's what I grew up with, and that's made me the nerd that I am today, and I'm proud of that fact. So,
although I mean, I like Airwolf. I mean, it's a helicopter show. For me, that is not sci-fi at all. I mean, Knight Rider is sort of pushing the boundaries of sci-fi because it's got like one bit of tech, but it's just a cop show. You know what I mean? Like sci-fi for me, there's slightly levels of sci-fi because there's fantasy is a bit more general. Like some people call Lord of the Rings something sci-fi. Cause I think weird clarification. So like Airwolf, I would like when it's a helicopter show. It's not a sci-fi. It's a action adventure show. You know what I mean? Just because it has I think it's frozen again. Just because it has a modicum of science fiction elements, for me, doesn't necessarily mean it might be definitionally a sci-fi. But if Star Wars can be a sci-fi, and Airwolf can be a sci-fi, that's okay. I guess then that's a pretty broad brush.
Yeah. I agree. And then there's, of course, the original Battlestar Galactica, Buck Rogers, all the good old classics, man.
And all cheesy. Like that was now we're in an era of grit. Earlier we're in the era of like the 2000s. It was more about wow, I've got VFX, we've got bigger budgets, we can do big set pieces. It was that sort of middle age. It was more positive, but it was more like we can do lots of things. In the 90s it was more like less budget, like less was all practical, but therefore you couldn't achieve as much with the same budget. A miniature versus 10 VFX shots. So we're all in different. Whereas that's like the cheese era. In a good way. Yeah. It's just fun. I mean, the world was different. But like they didn't think they're making a serious show with the Battlestar Galactica 1978. It wasn't a serious drama, clearly.
Well, Nano Reaper says the helicopter and Airwolf defied physics, so therefore it is sci-fi. Yeah, it had a bunch of crazy things that it did. So,
but that's just like I say, one element shouldn't necessarily. I mean, definitionally, but if that's the scale, then that's anything with anything more advanced is sci-fi. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah. Then anything with anything spiritual is a religious show. It's like, no, or anything with a, if you're One Punch, it's an action TV show. It's like, no, Teletubbies. You seen Teletubbies? The iconic.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, because it was that a science fiction show.
No,
Yeah.
it's a kids show.
It'd have to be a science fiction show because they're aliens and they've got, you know, TVs in their chests. So it's a science fiction show. It's like, okay, good. You know? Sorry, you're still vamping, I'm still sharing.
Yeah. I mean, you guys are bringing up a lot of great ones. Of course, Thundercats, The Real Ghostbusters, Space 1999. Yes, this is a topic we're going to have to revisit.
Really shows the age range of our fan base. They're all your era, none my era. It's great. Like, all the certain timeline of history.
Well, this is one that we're not going to be able to cover everything in this amount of time, but definitely it's going to be like driven by you guys. We kind of want to talk about what you guys want to talk about, and because there's things I want to forget about that I want to mention, but as you guys say them, I'll be like, oh yeah, that too. Joseph Petrick puts in €2 and says, a Vulcan hello to you guys, and he loves DuckTales.
He's shooting at us? Really?
I guess that's not very nice.
It's not very nice. I mean, thanks, but
Yeah. Gargoyles, yeah. Sylvia is a huge fan of gargoyles. Not only does she collect gargoyles just in general, but the show was something she watched as a kid.
Nice. Animated.
And you've got the voice cast of, you got Riker there, you got Troy.
Yeah. Massive reunion show.
Yeah, pretty
much. I think I had Patrick Stewart as well at one point.
I think so, and Data was there as well. Yeah. Lots of fantastic stuff to talk about, and we're just...
So, Family Guy's a sci-fi show because Stewie's got a time travel device. It's a science fiction animated series.
It doesn't focus on the time travel device. It just shows up occasionally.
But it's got it. I mean, it always exists. I mean, like I say, lines of the whatever is whatever. 74 people.
Just because you don't agree that Airwolf isn't sci-fi doesn't mean it's not, though. It's classed as sci-fi.
Definitionally is. I just think it's in the lowest end of the spectrum of sci-fi, of like the least amount of sci-fi. It's just like if Star Wars is sci-fi, that's sci-fi. It's like, well, a bit. Anything.
Yeah, the A-Team and Fall Guy. Yes, absolutely. I loved Fall Guy. That's one a lot of people really know about or remember. But damn, that was a good show.
Okay, I want to start because you just threw a couple out, and I've got my. See, I've been on a Blu-ray, Blu-ray binge. People have been every time anyone, any present for Christmas or birthday, they've been saying Blu-rays because I want to build this cool collection and 4K Blu-rays.
Abba Bab puts in $2 and says Wing Commander. So. And Joseph Petrick puts in €2 and says arrows, like Adonis. Love what you were doing. Oh, he's shooting arrows at us.
Oh,
so because he loves us. Yes.
Okay, so this is a film. I want to know if you are, because I know it's sort of polarizing. Do you like it or do you not like it? Or are you very indifferent? Ready? Jumper.
Never seen it. RV puts in £2. Terrorhawks. No, I haven't seen Jumper yet.
Really? See, Okay. Now, you value my opinion, right?
Sometimes.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say no, then you hate me. I like Jumper, personally. And this is why I thought you'd be like, I don't like it. Because I like the premise a lot. I like the actor quite a bit, although he's not the most interesting in it. I think the way they've done the universe is really interesting. It's not the best movie ever, but I think it's so underrated as a film. I really enjoy it. And actually, I watched some of the special features, and the amount of effort they put to make the jumping. I mean, it's the whole gimmick of the film, but the amount of effort they put in, like every time they jump, is based on the environment he jumps to and from. So if they jump from a more human environment, then the jumping field has like precipitation and like smoke, and it's like real intelligent stuff that I'm sad got hated so much. I really like it. I think it's fun.
Well, people are saying love Jumper, old movie, but cool.
It's not old.
Jumper was okay for what it was.
Yeah. I just didn't know if you were gonna.
Jumper is more fantasy than sci-fi, says MDG. It doesn't sound like it to me.
I can buy that because the jump, everything in it is people based. But I mean, look at that front. If that front cover isn't meant to be a sci-fi front cover.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, not really. I didn't have that many Blu-rays to show, so I was like, that's what I thought you have an opinion on.
I got a bunch of them upstairs. I didn't think of bringing them down. I was just gonna.
I'll tell you what, guys. We could talk amongst ourselves, but someone throw us a super chat of a show, and we'll talk about it, and that'll get because we want you guys to decide what we talk about. Either get our opinions, or just bring up a whole conversation. Because we have our own lists, but you can force us to say whatever you want in this show. Because I went for Jumper.
The one comment there was Terrahawks, but I'd never heard of it.
Have not seen, but I will Google it right now.
Terrahawks.
Oh
1980s
wow.
British sci-fi television series produced
Oh
by Anderson
gosh.
Fleur.
That looks what the hell? That looks bad
Yeah.
in a possibly a great way, but I think probably a bad way. Oh, Terrox posted by Eric Chu. No. Really?
And the super chat says
work on-
Terrahawks, but it's Terrahawks.
That looks. I mean, there's an eagle to look at on Trekyards. Oh, it looks entertaining. Okay, question for you, Stuart.
Yes.
This is a weird question, but on balance, I know there's super chats, but get on it. On balance, would you rather a film or TV show be entertaining or high quality? Like if there's that pendulum, which one would you rather it be for you personally?
Well, considering I lived through the 80s, entertaining for sure. Because there were some that were entertaining, just not very great as far as effects and stuff go. But even the writing was cheesy. But that's just the style of the time. So.
Well, I mean, not He-Man, but the guy with the ring at the end, Flash Gordon.
Hercules.
Flash Gordon.
Oh, Flash Gordon.
I mean, I've actually watched it recently. Like, it holds up reasonably well. It's entertaining. The art design's excellent. That's where it really shines. The acting's pretty poor, but it's got a really interesting world. Yeah. But it's genuinely entertaining still. And it's fun to say that's dumb. Wow, really? Huh? Yeah. It's fun. Yeah. Points for that.
Well, one of the things I watched when I was really young was Battle of the Planets, which is a remake of what's called G-Force as well. It's a remake of a Japanese anime called Gatchaman, which is absolutely amazing. I loved it as a kid, and they Americanized it. They changed it. They cut out all the hardcore violence and drama.
But you wanted that as a child.
Well, and then they added Seven's Arc 7, which is kind of like an R2D2 a replacement. But I loved it as a kid, and I still think it's great. I own them on DVD, even the Gatchaman and the new ones that they've done. So that kind of stuff really kind of made me who I was. I wanted to change my name to Mark, for Christ's sakes, because Mark was the lead character.
Now, can I just something really fun here that I think you'll personally love? If you search Battle of the Planets in Google, our episode on the GeForce Phoenix is on the second row of Google Images. We're that high up in the analytics because no one cares about the show except people like. Well,
no one. I wouldn't say no one cares.
But no one's searching for it in the same way.
Culture.
But that's what I mean. Like, we got 22,000 views for that, so there's like our thing is high enough. That's cool. Yay!
Yeah. A Mystic Seer puts in $1.99 and says, "I like Jumper. Do you like Chronicle?"
I haven't actually seen Chronicle.
Neither have I.
I don't like horror. Like, of all the things you could choose to watch, being scared isn't. I don't enjoy being scared. Can I throw you another quick? Can I give you quick stories? A quick story. And then people super chat to force us to talk about something else. So I went to Universal Studios in LA probably, and great time, lovely, awesome. Went around, saw the Psycho House, saw the Jaws exhibit, brilliant, great. And then we're almost at the end of the day, and there's the haunted house bit near the end. I'm like, I don't want to go in that. And Dad's like, we're going in that. And he doesn't like scary either, but he just wanted to do it. I'm like, I don't want to do that. He's like, we're doing it. So we walk in, and that's obviously quite a high-end one. So it's quite long. And it's pretty good. I enjoyed it until the point where I didn't. And like they're not allowed to touch you, obviously. That's the rule, because that's just not safe.
Yeah.
But I don't like being scared. I don't like that sort of stuff. And so I was fine when it was far away, but there was one particular guy that had a chainsaw that there's normally like there's a rope around most of the bits. They can only get up to a certain point, but there's a bit that wasn't, and he actually got in my face with a mask and a chainsaw. And I at the end of it, I was so pumped up. I said, if I had a gun, I would have killed him, or a knife, I would have stabbed him. Like, I would have killed that man for getting that close to me in that way. As much adrenaline was going through me, I was so fight and flight. I was really like, I felt a bit sick afterwards because the amount of like, he got me. I was like, I would have killed that guy if he had a weapon. It's like, ooh, it's not good. Didn't like it.
Yeah.
Wasn't fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun story, I think. Could have killed a guy if I had a knife.
Yeah, I gotta be careful what you say though. Make it in trouble. Joe Wright puts in $2. Stargate.
Yes.
Stargate Super Gay
No.
1.
No.
I mean, it's okay. It's
Hold
good.
on, you stay there. One.
Nano Reaper puts in $2 and says Quantum Leap. Quantum Leap is the bomb. That is amazing, that show. We've already moved on. We're talking about Quantum Leap, which is the next super chat.
Let's do it. You take that back. I'll P90 if you don't. That's where my love for P90s came from.
Okay, Stargate Super Gay 1 is pretty good.
Okay. Well, come on, what a great weapon though. What an absolutely beautiful weapon. Beautiful function. Stargate SG-1, it holds up so damn well. It's ridiculous how well actually that show has aged. Like, it needs a Blu-ray remaster, but I've talked to people that worked on the show and you can't because it didn't render the effects at high res. Just like DS9 and Voyager, exactly the same situation, which is really sad. The only thing that ages Stargate, the only thing, is that the monitors are still the huge ones. That's the only thing. The VFX are still good. The acting is excellent. The art design is really good. It's only the monitors. Real bizarre.
Anyway, we're talking about Quantum Leap with Scott Bakula. That's a fantastic series. Have you seen it? Okay, yes, good.
I've never actually gone out to watch it, but I've obviously seen lots. And I remember when I was young, I always used to, if there was a one on, I would I'll click on that. And the end, I remember being quite sad at the end. I watched it out of order. And I loved the one where he went back to an old, like he went back and because that it wasn't sure where continuity was the biggest thing. Like they were still in the era where that's not the biggest thing. But I love there was a sequel episode a few years later where they went back to an old episode, but he took on a different role. But the other version of him was still in the other version of the other guy. And that was interesting. And then there was a second jumper, and that was really interesting, bit of continuity, like a villain jumper, real smart. Like I loved, and Scott was like, I mean,
he's such a great actor.
Yeah. I mean, he was underused in Enterprise until season 3. I mean, you can see why they would have picked him, but they did give him such a vanilla guy. But yeah, real good show.
RV puts in £2 and
Blu-ray?
says,
Is that on Blu-ray? Do you think?
I'm not sure. Puts in £2 and says Starfleet, aka X Bomber, Japanese puppets. I understood Starfleet.
And
the rest
Bomber,
I don't understand.
And puppets and yes, Quantum Leap.
Also known as aka.
Quantum Leap. Wow, Quantum Leap was on Blu-ray. It came out January 29th, 2018, so it's actually brand new-ish. A year, but it's £100, $140, which is a lot. But I would love to see that in Blu-ray. Actually, that'd be and to watch all. Because I mean, I like it. Have you ever gone back? Okay, so we always used to watch shows in standard def. Have you ever gone back and watched a show for the second time since you watched it the first time, but actually in high def? So, like, watched it how you wish you could have watched it?
Not specifically, no. I usually end up downloading them or something to watch them again if I want to watch the entire series. Okay, sometimes it's high quality, but...
Because I don't remember that show enough to really remember it, and so if I watched it in high def, I'd be able to enjoy it a whole new way. 9 seasons they had. Holy shit. Wow. Didn't realize I had that many. And Ziggy, come on, though that as a duo is just perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Starfleet, AKX Bomber, Japanese puppets. Let's have a look then. Google images. So it is puppets. It's got a not crucifix, the mark of the devil, the pentagram, an almost pentagram in the middle of Starfleet, and the A in Starfleet is a triangle. And it's definitely, robots fighting. And that red robot was pretty cool actually in a puppet. That looks good. That looks funny. See, I always. I mean, we obviously love ships. I like the ships, but it's fun to see what really obscure, weird ships people design in olden days. And
I do remember bits of this. I've never actually watched, I don't think, a full episode, but I do remember little snippets of it.
When would you have seen it? Like as a kid on a Saturday cartoon?
Yeah, as a kid somewhere. Michael Elliott puts in $2. Who produced the best Saturday morning cartoons? Sunbow Productions was good. So was Filmation. Filmation did He-Man and Star Trek: The Animated Series. They had a weird kind of cost-saving kind of animation style, but it worked. They did motion capture and stuff as well, so I think that was pretty cool.
And I have no idea who would have made them. I didn't watch Saturday cartoons very much. I just don't know. It just didn't. It was never really a thing in my house. I know my dad made me watch like Tom and Jerry and Bugs Bunny and all
Mhm.
those, but that was obviously well before my time. So that's kind
The
of
Looney Tunes are awesome.
they're actually really good, and the animation's great and really
Yeah.
creative.
hmm
And we've got some
And
cartoons from yeah, yeah.
MDG puts in £2 and says,
Thank you.
"What's the best British sci-fi series?"
Oh,
Probably
jeez.
Doctor Who.
But that's a broad spectrum. Like you've only seen the new Who, so you're already like you're limiting 40 years of it, and I think that's better than the new Who personally. And a lot of the
I've
new
seen
Who
some of the
is
old stuff.
okay, and a lot of the weird thing about New Who for me is that it's so hit and miss. If you look at any given series, I think half of the season is just garbage, like or at least not good. There's some real standouts, but every show has standouts. Like I would only go back and watch maybe 10 episodes of the modern Who out of like, oh, that was a really good episode. Because for the most part, they're not great. And I just don't. They're not, because you can't put that much story in 40 minutes compared to the old shows. I mean, the old shows were very padded, but you give someone 30 minutes,
Yeah.
you can put a lot more story in. And they gave the doctors a lot more time to be. Obviously, the worst ones are like the old Who, again, broad spectrum. The worst of old Who is the worst, but the best of old Who is better than new Who by a long way. Have you seen Genesis of the Daleks? The Tom Baker almost destroyed the whole Dalek race episode.
No.
It's probably the best of old Who. It was very intelligently written, like it's really well written. It's a little bit padding in the last, I think it's got 5 parts, but it's it's the most obvious Nazi, like they're just alien Nazis, but it's wonderful. And Davros, who's the creator of the Daleks, is absolutely wonderful, and Gator, I think it's really really top notch. And Tom Baker, I mean, he was tremendous. And not as
I'll
much
have to watch
running.
that then.
I always say David Tennant
Yeah.
his series is so flawed because he runs every other scene. And it's like, yep, get to the story, please. Can we have more story? Nope, okay, we'll have more running. Oh, no, more running. So Doctor Who is a big. What's your favourite like Doctor Who episode? If you had to pick one, you've seen less than me. I've got like 10,000 in my repertoire.
I have no idea.
Okay,
I I don't remember most of them. I mean, I watched all the
See, does that not mean they're not memorable? A lot of the new ones.
the Doctors are memorable as
Very true.
an
Yes.
arc, but the standalone episodes not so much for me. I've only watched them like once or twice each.
It's true. Yeah.
I haven't seen them like repeatedly, so it's hard to say which is my favorite.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Thanks, Brian. Yeah, we're gonna do a temporal anomaly stream at some point, which hopefully you guys will. That'll probably announce it like a day or two in advance to get the most people joining, because that'd be nice to have like a big, Trekyards family get together sort of thing, talk about temporal anomaly, because it'll be fun if lots of you turn up.
Yeah.
More fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
MDG puts in £2 and says, "What's the bet?" Oh, I said that already. Red Dwarf. That's the answer.
Red Dwarf is real good.
I like Red Dwarf.
In terms of average quality to not quality episodes, it is stand out. Like it's almost every episode is a real hit.
I've seen Red Dwarf more than Doctor Who, I think.
Yeah. Favorite Red Dwarf episode? Or favorite like 2 or if you had to like put a couple like that in the order of like a couple of ones you really really like.
Drawing a blank, man. I need a list in front of me.
We'll have a look and I can talk about Red Dwarf for a few minutes.
Yeah.
So someone wants to donate via PayPal, so I gave them the link. Yeah, Red Dwarf is really excellent. I always like Legion, the one where the villain, the antagonist is a amalgam of all different personalities, because it's a really funny start of the season. It's very intelligent. It's very well written. It's very simplistic yet cool. I actually love the space station. I watched it recently. That I really enjoyed. I mean, all of like season 4. The first season on Starbug is just everything is a hit. I even like season 1. I think E2 is really really clever. And for the time, my god, the double Chris Barry, double Rimmer was absolutely standout for the time. I mean, there's nothing that did that. I mean, the entire show based off that. Yeah, Backwards is also tremendously clever. Backwards is great to watch backwards. It's actually just as valid an episode to watch forwards. Really surprising. They plan out some cool stuff. And the new ones are less good, but they got better. once the budget, because they did 2 seasons at the same time, well, 6 months apart. So they had the standing sets, and then the budget of, all the budget goes the first year towards the sets. Second year's budget is just towards the episode, and so that felt a lot more high budget, and that's kind of what it needed. So I kind of like the last two. Back to Earth I liked, but it didn't like the Blade Runner stuff personally. Like, it was funny, but it wasn't quite right. For you, any stand out?
No. Sorry. It's been so long since I've seen it. I just... man. I did just to find out that Terry Farrell was in the second U.S. pilot, though.
Yeah.
She played the cat.
Yeah, I've not actually seen those pilots.
They're not good.
No.
U.S. pilots aren't good.
Yeah. Red Dwarf is... And also, they actually do appreciate continuity. Even to the point that the modern shows, they still have the same Bazookoid designs, like almost identical to that made in the 80s. Who does that? That's wonderful. And they had the last episode of the last season, which could be the last episode. They want to do more, but doesn't mean they will do more. Could actually be the last of the franchise, and it was a wonderfully retrospective episode. They even rebuilt the crew quarters from the first episode. I mean, it's cheap as sin to build, and it's grey as hell. It's cheap as anything, but it was really, really nice to see. So I'll give him so much credit for that show.
Joseph Petrick puts in €2 and says, Sliders, anyone? Sliders was good.
I enjoy Sliders.
And then he says Sequest. Sequest was also interesting.
I went really high.
And then My Secret Identity.
I haven't seen...
My Secret Identity is awesome.
What's that about?
You'll never guess my secret identity. It's about a kid that gets superpowers, and yeah, it's a Canadian thing. I think it was produced in Canada.
And Sliders are not even available on, well, sort of available on DVD. It's available on streaming on Amazon, but or do they have two? I don't know. I liked Sliders. I like the premise a lot. I mean, the premise is excellent. And all I seem to remember from it is that they totally committed to the premise, if that makes sense. What do you remember from that show?
Never watched it.
Oh, you remember nothing then. But that's what
I remember seeing the promos and stuff for it on TV, but I just never tuned in.
It's one of those shows that nowadays in 2019, where there's so much good stuff, when will you ever go back? And every year, it gets like less good retrospectively, just by the nature of the tech looking worse. Like if you watch in the late 90s, early 2000s, it's different to on your big 4K TV watching standard def, and you know what I mean. It gets harder to go back to the originals. That's why it's nice that like 2001 is they just released on 4K. You can appreciate some of the classics if done in a nicer way. But I do want to go back and watch Slides. I think I actually downloaded Slides at one point. I should send you it. We should watch it together.
Jill Wright puts in $2. Love Twilight Zone and can't wait for the new one. I love the original Twilight Zone. I thought it was fantastic.
I've seen like 4.
Well, that's probably why you don't like it.
No, I do not like it. No, I liked the 4 I watched. I don't remember one of them though, but I know I like the other 3. I don't know. Well, the thing is, remember in the olden days of 20 years ago, if you didn't catch it, you didn't see it. You know what I mean?
The olden days.
Well, 20, so if I didn't...
20 years ago, we had VHSs, man. We could record that shit.
Yeah, but if you didn't...
Those were
new.
new.
That's the point. If you didn't catch it to record it, you didn't see it. And so I didn't, we just didn't catch it as a family. Or it wasn't... I don't even know I don't know what channel it would have been on in the UK.
Ooh.
We didn't have everything.
Ooh, I just thought of one.
Yep.
Greatest American Hero. That's an excellent series. The guy finds a alien suit that grants him superpowers, but he loses the instruction manual for it.
Oh my god, his hair is so curly.
So he doesn't know how to do anything with it. And there's an FBI agent that's helping him with this suit.
What?
It's pretty interesting. It's one I have to revisit because I watched it as a kid. I remember bits and pieces of it, but I really want to go back and revisit that one because it was well done. It was funny. I remember watching it with my brother and having some good time. So
that looks hilariously camp.
It is.
Was it actually good?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it as a kid.
Okay.
That being said, I'd have to revisit it and see because a lot of things I liked as a kid, I have nostalgia for, and when I watch them again, I'm like, okay.
Like what?
Like what? Like
Oh.
He-Man, for instance. Um, really enjoyed that as a kid. Going back and watching them now, it's kind of like, all right, well, that episode wasn't the greatest. There's like one or two really good episodes, and then the rest are just kind of crap. Um, a lot of the 80s cartoons were kind of like that, where it's just you go back and visit them and you're like, oh man, what was I thinking? But I was just a kid, so I was that's why I
Well,
enjoy it. And then this thing that makes me sad is that the culture's changed so much. There's no network television really anymore that people watch. Like only 6 channels that we had
yeah,
growing up. So everybody watched the same thing. So we have this culture of
yeah.
like
That's
G.I. Joe, Transformers. Nowadays, everything's on streaming services, so people watch what they have the streaming service for, like, stuff like Game of Thrones. Even I haven't even watched that yet. Um, Man in the High Castle. I'm almost finished that. But 20 years from now, people looking back in this day and age, they're not going to have the same kind of group cultural memories. They're going to be, oh yeah, I remember hearing about that show, but I never watched it. Because there's so much, we're spoiled for choice. There's so much choice out there now that you can't get everything. And if you do, you're not going to necessarily have the same kind of memories and stuff because you binge watched it, or you waited for each episode. It's a whole different viewing experience now. And I kind of feel bad for the culture because in 20 years, we're not going to have the same nostalgia factor that kids from the 80s especially do. With Saturday morning cartoon lineup,
and the films. Iconic films. That
Yeah,
was an era of
yeah.
icons. No, I love that point. That's quite a deep point actually. The idea of watching, Stargate SG-1 each episode each week,
Yeah.
and then 22 in a row. That's what it was, and then you break for 6-7 months, and there's not many trailers because it's not as big promo campaigns in the same way. It's just tune in next year. Here's a trailer. It'll be at 7.
Yep.
We'll see you then. And then you watch it, and for Stargate and obviously a lot of those shows, each episode is a memorable experience. And because there was no big arcs in the same way, each one was more unique. Whereas now, if you watched Game of Thrones week by week, say, you wouldn't enjoy it as much, I don't think, because it's so based on, like, you would also enjoy it, but part of the fun of binging is that every reference is so fresh in your brain that it flows from one thing to the next.
And I think that's why a lot of the storytelling these days is very overarching story arcs. They're not episodic. The 80s was very episodic. Very little reference was given to the last episode.
Yeah.
There might have been the odd thing.
Because you
here
can
and
miss it.
there.
If you miss one, you're screwed.
Exactly. Yeah.
And DS9 got flack for that because it meant that people got lost. Oops, I missed 3 Saturdays in a row. I was away in Jamaica. Why is the Defiant destroyed?
Yeah.
I can't go back and watch. My VHS didn't work. So I'm kind of, honestly, I wish... But that said, I really enjoy watching all of Altered Carbon in a weekend. I loved it. It was like a massive movie marathon. But I don't remember episode 5. I couldn't tell you what happened in any individual episode. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so vibrant as a story, but I could not differentiate a lot of them. And you burn through content. But things like so much was being made that this is where the culture of now, want it. The patience factor. You had to be patient to wait a week. And you only had, 8 or 9 shows. You couldn't stream, you couldn't DVD, you couldn't... People were more patient because you had to be. And now, when, I can watch TV on here, downstairs, on my laptop. I can watch 6 different TVs in the same room at the same time.
Yeah. And that being said, too, even when they did come out on VHS as a complete collection, it was hell of expensive. You'd have to... And 2 episodes per tape. Yeah. You have to buy each tape individually. It was just a pain in the ass. You didn't have box sets, really.
Well, Dad said that he bought each TOS VHS, which is he's got private collections of the entire thing VHS. Was that?
I do too. I have the Columbia House collection of TOS.
Very nice.
So.
He said he probably spent about £45 to £50 per VHS, and that's about what, $75 Canadian? Because at the time, brand new, come out VHS, and it's like that. Can you imagine spending? What's that? 22 times 60 times 3, hundreds. Whereas now you can buy a Blu-ray set for 45, and that's with all special features.
Yeah.
So
we got 4 super chats we should get to. So
yes.
Jeff Jacobs puts in $3. Speed Racer was my jam. I never really enjoyed Speed Racer. The movie I kind of enjoyed, even though it's really bad for a movie. It's
Didn't
got
know
some
the
great effects.
didn't know it was a TV show. No idea.
Oh yeah, it was an anime. It's an animation. Japanimation, as a matter of fact. So, Adam Boots puts in £2. Wonder if anyone remembers the CGI Kids show Reboot. Absolutely, Reboot was fantastic from Mainframe Entertainment, the same people that did Beast Wars. I used to watch Beast Wars, and then Reboot. Fantastic show. Well written, great characters. Just the CG was early CG. I still think it stands up. I like it. I enjoy Beast Wars animation, but a lot of people don't. And it's a shame because Beast Wars has some of the best story writing and Transformers lore for that series once you get past the first like couple episodes of season 1. But yeah, absolutely, Reboot's fantastic. Curtis Simpkins puts in $2 and says, "What about Xena, guys? Xena's awesome. Xena and Hercules. My wife Sylvia is a huge fan of Xena. I just bought her the complete collection on DVD for Christmas.
Nice.
She's also got some graphic novels and stuff. We watched the series through twice. It's a great show, and yeah,
I never actually watched either. I don't think they were on. I think they were on odd channels that weren't the main channels, and they were not on a time that. Again, you were an adult at that point. I was a child, and I wouldn't pick to watch. You know what I mean? I didn't have a choice.
I didn't watch it first run because I thought it was very cheesy. But then, as she does, Sylvia made me go back and watch it because it's something she grew up with, and I absolutely love it now. I think it's fantastic. So
yeah, I have a PayPal chat as well. So when you've done through those, I'll read out the next one.
Okay, let's just hit MDG, then we'll do your PayPal, and then we'll do the other one after that. MDG puts in £2 and says, "Sci-fi character you want to be except Kirk." Cisco.
Dick.
Sci-fi character. I don't know, something like Michael Knight or something with a really cool car back in the 80s. That'd be cool. That's a tough question. That's actually a trick question because it can't be answered because there's too many choices.
Yeah, it depends
Optimus
on what
Prime. Yeah, I want to be Optimus
Prime.
Prime.
Neo would be kind of cool. I can dodge bullets and I get a very uninteresting girl, but that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's what I had with me. I don't know. There's so many good sci-fi characters. I mean, there are so many people from Stargate that'd be kind of cool, or even just on the Orville. Just random officer number 10 on the Orville. Be fun.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so read the PayPal one.
Okay, we have a lovely $5.50 super chat from David, my friend David, and I don't know Jakuli, I don't know his second name. I'm sorry because it's a German name, I think. What's your opinions on The Expanse?
I'll let you feel this because you always do such a great job. I haven't seen it yet. I've seen the odd episode here and there when it was on Space, and I really enjoyed it. But I was kind of lost because I wasn't following it, from week to week. But the story seems really involved, really complex, and the CG or the effects are fantastic. So I'm looking forward to eventually watching it. I just have not done so yet. Same with Game of Thrones. It's on the watch list. It's just when I get around to it, I don't know. Like I said, I just started watching Man in the High Castle, and I've got 3 episodes left, and I love that show. That's fantastic. But anyway, what do you think about The Expanse?
I have very little thoughts because I haven't seen it. The problem is, I've seen all of the best sci-fi shows, like the truly iconic big, multi-season arc shows that are more than like 4. There's a few now, but they're all like medium to really good. So The Expanse, hyped up to the extreme, just like Babylon 5. It's like there are a few epics left. I've seen Star Trek and the Star Warses and the Stargates and the Fireflies and the Farscape and Babylon 5 and Battlestar Galactica. There's only so many until you run out. It was the older ones that are, good, but not necessarily that iconic. And so, once I watch The Expanse, there isn't many else. And so I'm kind of not necessarily saving it, but, like Dark Matter is great, good, but it's not like as good as those. So I'm just saving it.
Yeah.
And probably
you'll get around to it, and we'll both love it, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly like that of a complicated, intricate story. And I know Daniel from Space Doc. I mean, that is his baby. That is his child. I would make lewd comments about how much what he would do to that show if if it was a physical woman, he would do things to it, and he would.
Yeah. All right, another super chat of 250 rubles.
Thank you.
Yes, reboot. I remember watching it when I was a child. It was followed by the Exo Squad, original BSG, and then Get Smart and Green Acres on Saturdays. Wow, what a lineup. And Mechanic Steve puts in $2. Do you guys like the original Logan's Run? I do indeed. I just watched that probably like 4 months ago with Sylvia. I got it on Blu-ray with the enhanced effects. The original Logan's Run is a fun ride. Yeah, it's a fun movie. A little bit cheesy and dated again, but what isn't from that period? It's enjoyable. I hear they're going to be doing a new one.
Everything's a remake.
So I know there's
disappointing.
No original ideas anymore. Somewhat, maybe a little.
So Logan's Run, I didn't even realize that guy was the head. The guy in Austin Powers is the head of MI5.
Yeah, Basil Exposition.
Yeah, or is that his name?
Yeah, in Austin Powers. Yeah, Basil Exposition.
All I know about it. Now this isn't the one. No, that's Buck Rogers in 25th Century, where he's catapulted into the future. What's this one about then? Apart from he's running, because isn't there a movie as well or a book was based on?
Logan's Run is about it's after there's been a world war, so the planet's basically decimated, but there's these pockets, these cities, where they don't go outside, they don't know anything beyond their city, and once you hit the age of 26, or is it 30? I forget. There's a crystal embedded in your palm, and it turns red, and then you have to basically go and get killed in something called carousel, where you get spun in the air and basically zapped. So there's no old people, there's no sickness. It's just young, attractive people walking around. So the women are like half naked, as for the 70s. And then two of them, and there's these the cops that go after the runners. So some people, when their crystal turns red, they want to run and get away. But one of them goes undercover to try to find I can't remember the wording for it.
Is this a movie or a TV show?
It's a movie.
I thought it was a movie, but so we're more talking about TV shows in this chat so far. I was like, is it a TV? Yeah. Huh. Yeah.
Anyway, him and a girl get away, and they find they find Congress that's all destroyed, but there's an old man living there, and he's got a bunch of cats, and he's amazed that he sees other people because he's all been by himself for so long, and they're amazed that they've seen an old person. And that's basically the premise of the story. It's really well done. It's really fun, and you should definitely watch it if you're a sci-fi fan. It's classic sci-fi.
Yeah.
There was a Logan's Run TV series as well, but I never watched that. So.
Okay. I know little about it, but not in a bad way. Yeah. But again,
runner.
I mean, movies are tricky because before there's DVD and VHS, because at some point in my world, most of the childhood was obviously not, a bit of VHS, but we didn't just buy VHSs. Like, it was a very special thing to have a VHS. Dad's VHS collections, Terminator 2, Predator, Star Wars, really like the most iconic ones because that's all you can, and all of TOS. And then DVDs again, we never splurged on anything. So you wouldn't buy it unless you had a reason to buy it. And so if it was on TV, I wouldn't see it. And Dad didn't like it, I don't think. So it was never a thing. And then again, when do you think? Oh, I'll go back and watch a 1980s random movie that we know isn't the best thing. You know what I mean? It's like there's so many good things to watch. Okay, but that's your era. It's different when it's like generally old movies that are like. You can only really enjoy them for nostalgia rather than for quality necessarily. There's that level of.
No, they're great. Well, it's a fine line, I guess. But
it's a fine line.
Some of them are fantastic in all regards. Some have great writing, great premise. The effects fall down a little bit, but you just look past them.
See, I don't. Yeah, the effect isn't the bit I'm concerned about. It's more the writing a lot of those times.
Oh. Yeah, no, it's usually pretty good with the.
Well, that's good then, which is why the Flash Gordon's kind of cool because the art design is really good. The writing is not great, but it's interesting. But the art, like the visual stuff's really cool, but it's still dated, obviously, but it fits in well. It's like Star Wars is still good writing. It just happens to have really good VFX as well.
Yeah.
Ian
Warrender.
Hey, hi Ian. Oh Jesus.
Futurama. Futurama, Final Fantasy. whatever SW means. Final Space, BSG,
Yep.
SG1, Moon, the
Very good.
2009 film,
Very, very good.
Alien,
Yes.
and Terminator TV
I
show.
liked that one.
Yeah, yeah, those are all fantastic.
Any
Curtis Simpkins puts in
Wait,
$2 and
if you
says,
had to pick your favorite, if you had to pick the one you'd watch right now out of those selection, what would it be?
out of these,
Yes.
me personally,
Yes, right now. Go.
let's see.
Like gunpoint, forced to watch it this in 2 minutes.
BSG,
Oh,
followed by Futurama.
really? That's surprising.
I love the old BSG.
Oh, you meant old BSG. Oh, I was like new
Well,
BSG.
I don't know if that's old or new.
I was assuming you meant new BSG, so I was like, wow, I thought you didn't like new BSG and you didn't really care
I
about it.
do like new BSG. I just didn't get through it. I just stopped halfway through season 2.
So did my dad, to be fair. Oh,
You know what I can't stand in BSG?
Which one?
The new one?
What?
The shaky cam. Oh, look, there's people talking. Okay, I'm gonna throw up now.
No, it's handheld. It's documentary. See, for me, it fits in totally well with what they're doing. Like thematically, it's all very like a documentary. I think out of that list, I'd pick Futurama, because Futurama was a damn good show.
Mm-hmm.
Real good show. That was a show that doesn't come around very often.
Way better than Simpsons.
Oh yeah.
In different way. It holds up a lot better. I mean,
Yeah.
Simpsons. Fantastic. Then after that, it just turns to. I haven't watched The Simpsons in like probably 5 years or more.
It's had some good episodes. I've watched season 13. Like they adapt to the time. I'll give them that. But Futurama, I mean, you can watch episode 1, episode 2, episode 5, because they're so out of time. It's timeless. Like TOS is not, doesn't look like the 60s. It looks like its own thing because art design was so its own thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Curtis Simpkin puts in $2 and says, "What about the Wonder Woman TV series? Oh, with Linda Carter. Yeah, that was fantastic. The 70s were a good time. That's stuff I grew up watching and I have childhood memories of. Just sitting in the living room with the family, kind of thing. So.
And I have no opinions on it at all. I haven't seen it.
Will Sherby
I like Brian's question, Bright Farland. Is there any 1950s or 60s shows or movies that I admire? Because don't like, I'm not trying to say I don't like old films or TV. That's silly. It's very like I haven't gone out of way to watch the oldest ones, like Casablanca. I should have seen Casablanca. It's one of the most iconic films of all time, but I just haven't gone out of my way to see it. You know,
I haven't watched it either, so don't feel bad.
You've seen Singing in the Rain though. I saw that for uni, but I really enjoyed Singing in the Rain. I thought it was very well done. But I'm gonna have a little look because I mean it's not, you know, I need to have a look because I don't know what
Yes.
You know.
Will Serby puts in £5 and says, "Thanks to my dad, my childhood was dominated by Jerry Anderson's Thunderbirds and Stingray. The marionette stuff is awesome. I love watching that just for the understanding like how difficult that is to do and to get those scenes and little miniatures. It's just fantastic. Yeah. And
there's so much character.
That's why I like Team America World Police.
Oh, it's a good film.
For the same reason.
Well, I've said they want to do a second film, but it just takes so much effort and thought.
And they also said they would never do another marionette one because it was such a pain in the ass to do that movie. So,
it's like the South Park games. It looks like the thing, but it's all CG because it's a video game. Just make Team America, but all CG marionettes. Like, you can do that. It'd be great. And I just googled 1960s films, and a couple I do enjoy Psycho. 2001 I'm kind of mixed on. I like bits of it. All the James Bonds I like. Mary Poppins I certainly like. Spartacus I quite enjoy. Planet of the Apes I kind of like Planet of the Apes. Great Escape I thought was excellent. I really enjoyed Great Escape. Haven't watched that for a long time, but I enjoyed that. What else? I think I've seen Pink Panther.
Oh, the Pink Panther films are awesome. With Peter Sellers, they're really good.
Yeah, there's not that many I've seen from the 60s, I guess. Let me go 50s. Because, you know, certainly, how are you going to... I don't know. It's like, how do you find them as much? When you... I mean, when I was young enough... Like, what, you know... When you get older, you pick what you want to watch. You know? So when you're a kid, your parents force you to eat what they want to eat. So that your eating habits come because of that. But I'm sure you eat very different food when you did when you were a child, because now you choose. So when you choose to watch what you watch, like, it's hard enough to keep up with the modern stuff. Plus, I make content these days. I haven't got that much time to watch stuff.
Yeah.
I make stuff for you all to watch.
Snowman Frost says, "Don't forget about Alf, alien life form. Awesome show, very funny."
Have you seen Paul?
Yes.
A similar theme. I enjoyed Paul, but I wasn't impressed by Paul. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, I watched it once, and I mean, I'd watch it again, but I just, yeah. Joseph Petrick puts in £2. If you have not seen Iron Sky, you should. Iron Sky. Why does that sound familiar?
It's the Nazis on the moon.
Oh yeah, it's what on my watch list. That's why.
Joseph, I really enjoyed that one. It's to know the small team and the low budget is really impressive considering it is lightwave. It was a lightwave made film. I know several people actually worked on it. Real good, real creative. Green screen is very green screen, but it's very well done green screen, and all the stuff in the Oval Office is great. Characters are great. It's fun. It's real fun.
Yeah. With that being said, you should watch Command in the High Castle then. What if the Nazis had won the war?
I've heard good things.
And yeah, it's Philip K. Dick, so it's got a sci-fi element to it. Which I won't say.
Gun technology and stuff.
No, nothing like that.
Okay.
Something you wouldn't expect, and it kind of comes out of the blue like right away, and then the whole time you're wondering what the hell is up with those. Anyway, yeah.
Okay.
It's definitely.
Adam Boots says Galaxy Quest. And I want to add Galaxy Quest ... Is that one of the best movies I ever made in terms of like what it's trying to achieve, what it achieves, and the acting? Because
yes.
What's wrong with Galaxy Quest? Like, name me some.
It's not Star Trek. But I always picture the Star Trek actors and the Star Trek sets and that, like, you know, that was real when they had to go do their thing. But you know, Galaxy Quest is good. Great actors, great acting, great writing, funny. It's a better homage to Star Trek than JJ's 2009 film. Yeah. JJ's 2009 film is more of a parody of Star Trek than Galaxy Quest is.
Oh yeah, it is actually, isn't it? Yeah. Well, Galaxy Quest could still take place like years in the future. I mean, even the goddamn dry dock looks the same. Like there's actually work bees, Stuart, in the dry dock sequence. There's effing work bees, and they're actually similar. But like seriously, I don't know if there's any. I don't know what I could say as faults. Like in the CJ, because it was model work. It was still model work. That's why the space shots look so good. They're actually model shots. They age so well. There isn't much I could complain about. I guess the aliens are now aging a bit, but still real good. It's like the bugs from Starship Troopers. Those bugs are aging effing amazingly. Like they still get excellent. You know, so I think those aliens from this look excellent too. I want them in 4K. I just looked if they've got a 4K.
I agree.
I want it.
Brett Barrow puts in $2 and says, in case no one has mentioned it, The Fifth Element. Multipass. I am a meat popsicle. Yes, a fantastic movie. That one I always watch when it's on TV. I'll stop. And it's one that I'll throw in occasionally as well. It's very good.
It's one of those ones where it feels surface level dumb, but it's really clever dumb, because they're making this intelligently crafted world where things aren't what you expect, you know. But it's so living, you know. But it's all visual and it's all interesting, but it's dumb. But it's like it's not actually dumb, you know. Like the main guy's gun, like it's dumb, but it's incredible. But it's also really functional. But it's all, you know what I mean. It just doesn't. Oh, it's such a good film. And I'm so glad no sequel. I was about to say you wish they had a sequel, but now thinking about it, no, that standalone, yep, great. Maybe could I have a TV show, like a good budget TV show I could see. But like not the remake, like Corbin Dallas's son or who the hell cares, just another thing. And you know, it doesn't need to be linked directly, but the universe is quite cool. Yeah. Well, I do want to buy it on 4K because I know that came out. It's quite expensive, I believe, in 4K. It's one of those weirdly, oddly expensive ones.
Bungle 2 billion or whatever says Starship Troopers, the animated series. Oh, yes, the Roughnecks.
Excellent show.
Yeah.
It was a
show. I got some of that on DVD upstairs.
Expensive, but worth it. That show is one where it gets smarter the longer it goes. and they don't ever. It's not a kids show. It's not. It's pretty violent, pretty gruesome, pretty clever, but it's not a kids show. It's a show. You know.
Yeah.
I think that animation style, which is like a level above Beast Wars. Beast Wars is very shiny, very computer, whereas Roughnecks is very style. Like it's not the best you could do at the time, but it was like a level of we can do this every week, guaranteed. It'll look like what it looks like. Whereas Beast Wars is like we're gonna push the envelope and be, but it kind of, you know what I mean. It looks worse because of that somehow. Now I mean. Like, it's really cool. It's stylized cool. I think Roughnecks ages better, I think. I mean, it's got 7 or 8 years on it, I think, but, you know, still.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've sat down and watched Roughnecks, and I got to go throw in my DVD.
Roughnecks is 1994.
Funny, because I just watched, the other night I watched Final Fantasy The Spirits Within, and damn, the more I watch that movie, the more I love that movie.
Beast Wars came out 2 years after Roughnecks. Awkward. Here I am saying the animation's worse.
Beast Wars didn't come out 2 years after Roughnecks. Beast Wars was one of the first CG animated shows
Beast
ever.
Wars 1996, Roughnecks 1994. Wait. No, that's the British television drama series.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not right.
Hold on. Hold on.
250 rubles.
1998. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Both called Roughnecks. I was right technically.
Have you seen the anime Planets by chance? One of the hardest sci-fi media. Planets with an E? No.
Let me
I have not.
I'm not a big anime watcher.
Yeah, I'm not either. I used to be, but
The spacesuit's cool. Yeah, anime is good at not aging. You know?
the storytelling is sometimes very slow and puts me to sleep in anime. They have a different way of telling stories.
Very different. Marie got me to watch a few years ago now, but Huey and the High Castle, I think it's called, something like that. And it's really good, but it is. I mean, the slow is not a bad thing, but it's real slow. And watching it a second time, it's like there's so much build, but you don't realize it's build. It's just stuff happens. And you just sort of have to wait and enjoy the ride, because the payoff is fun, but it's like a very... Yeah, it's not like a 3-act... It's weird. Yeah, I do want to watch more, but again, I've never once had the feeling, I'll go back and I'll go and find a random anime today. It's like I've never had that random, whereas I could go back and just watch The Matrix, you know, in 4K, hopefully. Sponsored by Matrix in 4K. Buy now, today. Not really.
Eric Morgan puts in $2 Canadian.
Thank you.
How about Total Recall and RoboCop? Yes, both fantastic.
Well, no, he could mean the reboots of each.
You know, the reboot of RoboCop's not bad. I don't care what people say. I rather enjoyed it. It sure wasn't R-rated like the first one, but I think it was really well done, and I like the homage they paid to the original suit.
Yeah.
They did a lot of stuff really well. And it gets a lot of flack, and I got to say that I'm an advocate for it because I love it.
You know what I like best about that film?
What?
It wasn't a remake. It was a completely unique story. So you didn't know what was going to happen. It was just, this guy is a RoboCop. That is it. It was great. I really enjoyed it. I thought it had some really fun pieces. But you're right, it was, and Samuel Jackson was great. I mean, he played Samuel Jackson, but I thought he was right on point with that.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the first one's better, but it's very, very different, which is great. Total Recall is very much the same film with a more focus on the Mars stuff.
I haven't even watched the remake of Total Recall yet.
There's some really nice elements, but the original is so good. It's so good. And it's that perfect, for me, between some cheese, but some really good, serious acting. It's a good combination, because the cheese is normally, for comedic beats, it's very, very on purpose. It's not just because. Like Predator, there's some great action comedy bits at the start. They're on purpose. It's not, you know what I mean? But whereas it's very, very, yeah. So now watch RoboCop again, the new one, because I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually watched
Good.
it not that long ago either. Like a couple months ago, it was on TV, and then I decided wanted to buy it, so I went out and bought the Blu-ray. Um,
Hey guys,
but
what do
yeah,
you think? I just want to know: are you guys for or against the new RoboCop? Because I'm interested. Which one are you go? Which one are you all? Let us know.
yeah.
Let us know.
While you're doing that, Ninja Vanish 77 puts in $2 and
Heh.
says Event Horizon and
Yeah, Pandorum.
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 Event Horizon's awesome. I do love Event Horizon. I haven't heard of the other one though.
I liked Pandorum. The soundtrack is really cool, I think. Pandorum is weird. It's real weird. It's a very like, where the hell did this one come from? I think one day I googled like 2000s sci-fi and I saw it and I was like, oh, I'll watch that tonight. And then I did.
And you still haven't watched Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within.
No, I haven't. I still haven't watched Spaceballs. I liked Pandorum, but it was weird in a good way.
It looks weird.
It wasn't as memorable as it could have been, is my memory, because I don't remember anything that happens in it. At least because Event Horizon is pretty memorable, I feel like. It's got some really distinct sequences, and Sam Neill is really good in it, I feel like. Mm-hmm. Event Horizon's good. And the ship's very, interesting in like a boring way. It's not that interesting, but I like it. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, both good choices. So I do kind of like the side sci-fi ones. Have you heard of Aeon Flux or seen Aeon Flux?
Aeon Flux is awesome. Have you seen the original cartoons for Aeon Flux? The shorts?
I haven't.
They were on Liquid TV on MTV, and I've got them on VHS. They're like short 5-minute little animations, and that's what the movie's based on. I love Aeon Flux. Yeah.
I thought it was a fun stylized movie. The soundtrack's great. Really cool and some good tech. Yeah, I like the movie.
Yeah.
Cool, yeah. But it's like not a big budget, but it's like a medium.
But you got to watch the animated.
Okay.
Because I think you'll really appreciate them if you like the movie.
Cool.
So. Yeah. Spaceballs. Everybody's saying Spaceballs. Original RoboCop was much better.
It is, but they're different. One's an action movie with all the trimmings of clever gore and satire, and the other one's a sci-fi thriller with an unfortunate rating that doesn't let it like push boundaries. It would have been cool if it could, and also focus on different parts of the relationship of like human to machine and stuff. No, I think they're different, but just like Die Hard 1 and 3, 1 is better. But 3 is radically different and still great. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So you still have 2 that are great, but just very different great.
Arrival with Amy Adams. Arrival was interesting.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, really? It's one you.
Oh, no. I did see it. Sorry, I did see it. I liked it, yeah. Slow.
Mm-hmm.
But the point of the film was great. I won't say the reveal. I won't say the whatever. The point of the film was great. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You get what I mean here. You get what I mean.
I do. Yeah, Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within says Jumpin' Jim Flash. Dude, if you like sci-fi, you need to watch Final Fantasy.
I will.
I think the first time you watch it, it might feel slow, but on repeated viewings, it just gets better and better. And the animation is fantastic. It holds up so well. So there you go. You should be intrigued now.
Well, it's one of those things I wish I could watch with you. Like, it's one of those things that I'm saving certain things. It'd be cool just to sit down and do like a, maybe record it and release best bits of, or do like a, 1 minute after we finish recording, start a live stream and talk to the fans, sort of like share that experience rather than just watching it
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, guys, let us know, like, even 80s cartoons, stuff you liked. Like, when I was a kid, I was huge into G.I. Joe. I had a whole bunch of G.I. Joe toys.
Wait. You were?
I was?
I don't buy it.
And not so much into Transformers. Now that I'm older, Transformers is more my vibe. I still got a bunch of my original G.I. Joes packed away, but I've since made up for my lack of Transformers that I had when I was a kid because I didn't have very many, and I didn't get the ones I wanted. So I've since made up for that. I never had an Optimus Prime growing up. You've seen my Optimus Prime collection. It's like 2 shelves of Optimus Prime. I've made up for it. Thundercats was also amazing. Yes, Captain Caveman. Captain Caveman itself, even though that's your username, Captain Caveman, the cartoon was funny as well.
See, the problem with if I mention cartoons, they would be, I'm assuming UK cartoon. And they're not, no, okay, they could be brought in from other countries, but if I say that, I guarantee you won't have seen them.
What about the Animaniacs or,
yeah?
Pinky and the Brain,
See, they're
Muppet
sci-fi.
Babies?
I mean, obviously we're not about the sci-fi specifically there, but yeah. I like Pinky the Brain. I've seen a couple. Have you seen Dexter's Laboratory? That was a good cartoon.
I was a little past my time, but I didn't really enjoy it.
That was good because it was a kid's show, but it really wasn't. It was written with a level for adults. Because there's so many sex jokes and so many adult, it's multi-leveled, and so you can go back and watch it again, enjoy it fresh, which is smart. And it's got some
Johnny Bravo. Johnny Bravo was an
Yes.
awesome cartoon. Hey, Mama. Yeah,
Yes.
that show wouldn't fly today, I don't think. So
yeah.
inappropriate.
But it doesn't mean it's not funny. That's the problem.
No, it's amazingly funny. Ian Warrender puts in £2. Farscape and From My Younger Dating Days, Roswell.
Farscape,
You get a fist
man.
bump.
Brilliant show.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Haven't watched Farscape.
That is one I see. That's the thing. You've missed so many of these amazing shows. But that'd be a great one we can sit down and watch because that's such a good. I mean, season 2 and 3 are excellent. 1 is good but finding its feet, just like TNG. 2 is good, found its feet. 3 is exceptional, and 4 is a letdown. But that happens in many things. Yeah, I mean, weird. Weird.
Another super chat of 250 rubles. Tron, maybe original from 1982 or Daft Punk music video from 2010. Tron was groundbreaking for its time, and for me, it doesn't really hold up on a reviewing, though. It's basically just a nostalgia factor. The new Tron, what was it, Legacy? Yeah. I have that in 3D. That movie in 3D is fantastic. There's one scene where she whips a ball.
Yeah.
If you duck, because that's great visuals. So
Tron 1 is a good movie. It's based on its own ambition. When that ambition is the thing that now dates it, it's like there's a great scene. Well, it isn't a great scene where they're moving from literally one step to another, like jumping down a step and they hold onto a cliff ledge and they drop. That's an entire 3-minute scene. It's like, huh. But obviously in that time it was on a green screen and it was cool to see them on a ledge. So there's certain bits of that film that really this wouldn't be fly now, but still the designs are excellent. The story is good. The characters are good. So it's a weird one where some things are really pull it down, but not as a whole, just as these things date it beyond belief. But I think the core of it is still really, really solid. And Legacy I really enjoyed. It's a little bit vanilla, a little bit. It should have been a little bit harder edged, but the music is phenomenal, and it's got some wonderful scenes, if not the best plot. For me.
Yeah. Well, you just made me think of another one that's really good from the back in the day, and that's Disney's The Black Hole.
I haven't seen it.
Maybe not say good, because rewatching it's kind of but it's got Maximilian. It's got some really cool robots. Vincent, Old Bob. Ships are cool. The Cygnus and. Yeah, and it's one that's been requested that we do for
yes.
Fleet Yards.
And some people are commenting how Tron was obviously amazing for its time. We're not disputing that, but we can't review it as if we're in 1978. So we're still getting all these things. If they don't stand the test of time, that's not our fault, And we can't, nostalgia goggles only go so far. That's why I like good dialogue, because good dialogue is always good dialogue. Psycho is still excellently written. It doesn't matter when you watch it; it's still excellently written, and that's not going to change.
Yeah. Michael Smith puts in $20.
Oh
Thank
my
you very
god!
much, Michael.
Thank you so much.
Don't know what I missed. TV, Star
Lots.
Trek, Transformers, G.I. Joe,
So
Knight
wait,
Rider,
wait.
Airwolf,
Star
The Greatest
Trek.
American.
Yeah. Do you like Star Trek, Stuart? Is that a show that you can put on this favorite other sci-fi? You think is that in there?
No, because it says not just Trek in our thumbnail. Anyway, Star Trek, Transformers, G.I. Joe, Knight Rider, Airwolf, The Greatest American Hero, Battlestar Galactica. I'm on board with all those. Movies, it's Aliens,
Yes.
Predator,
Yes.
Terminator 1 and 2,
Yeah.
Die Hard 1 and 2,
Number 2.
TOS, Cast, Trek, and Star Wars. I would say yes to all those.
I mean, even though I haven't seen the 4 middle ones of those TV shows, I mean, those are some of the most iconic. I mean, obviously, G.I. Joe, Knight Rider, Airwolf are still iconic beyond belief. I just haven't seen them so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, some real, icons are still icons, and I hope that they don't stop being icons. Yeah, what's your opinion on Die Hard 2?
Die Harder,
Yes.
even though that's disputed whether that's the name or not. They're trying to redo the first one, just in a different location, and it doesn't come off as well as the first one by any means, but it is enjoyable to watch. I do get a kick out of it, and it's not as good as the first one. It's that simple.
It's funny how an airport is more boring than one office building.
Yeah, I know. Right?
Yeah, I liked the idea of the villain, but he doesn't come across very well. The reveal twist is fine, but doesn't quite work. It's not as good as they're not terrorists, they're bank robbers. What a novel, dumb, no reveal. It's just not as well written. I mean, the Die Hard is a masterclass in every field. Die Hard 2 is not. That's the problem. It's just an okay action film, and that's kind of its problem. Whereas Die Hard 3 is a very different action film, but it's a good action film it's more clever, And actually, it's funny. I've come to enjoy 4 more as years have gone on, because it is trying to be a different sort of film.
Trying to become a franchise.
Well, yeah, and then 5 is an absolute train wreck. I watched it in the cinema. I mean, what the hell were they thinking?
Which one is 5? The one with his son?
Yeah, I mean, just the film itself is... Oh my god. Seriously. Like, 4... to make 4 look good as a solid film is impressive, Not many franchises do that, where the last one makes the one you think is the worst one look great. I mean, my god. I mean, it'd be amazing if Star Wars Episode 9 is so bad we think Last Jedi is good. Like that happened.
Ah, yeah.
Weird.
Oh, man.
Okay, I've got 2 shows from when I was a kid that I really enjoyed, animated. See if you've seen or not.
Okay.
Zeta Protocol. Sorry, the Zeta Protocol.
No.
That was a real clever show because it was a future show, which is fun, about a robot who's an assassin in that point of time, but he gets shot or something in his brain. His chip goes from death assassin to neutral. I'm just now a unknown. I'm learning about everything for the first
Iron
time.
Giant.
Sure, yeah, but Iron Giant was an assassin. But this guy.
Yeah, he was a battle robot.
Oh, was he? I haven't seen that in a decade. Cool, didn't know. Really, he's all like.
Oh yeah.
Rust. I assumed it was like a homegrown, cheap, robot.
No, because at the end he goes into battle mode where he's got the guns out.
Yes.
And,
he does, doesn't he?
he's designed to kill.
Oh dear.
Yes.
Oh dear. Damn you, Vin Diesel. No, but the Zeta guy, he's a really sleek-looking robot, and he has a full holographic projector, so he can appear to be anyone. Like, he's really designed to kill. Like, he's really designed. Full holographic, full mimicking voice and smell and all things. He's got really good guns. He's got grapple hooks for hands. He's got jetpacks. Like, he's super advanced. But he said that the entire sequence is wonderful. It's such a good little... tells the entire story, and I'll show it to you at the end of this session because I really enjoyed it as a show. And he wants to make up for his actions of the past, and also find whoever started the program of killing people, like stop them. And he's got this sidekick who's a classic Rogue, like a Han Solo, but a girl and younger, but very likable. And this robot that can do everything. It can kill everyone in the room, but it chooses not to because it's a good guy now. And there's multiple times when it gets pushed, and it can do these things, but chooses not to. It's a good show, and to see its hologram do cool things, and it was fun. It was sci-fi, and they got flying cars, and it's a good show. And the second one I have is Zoids, which I hope you've seen.
Zoids, yes. I've seen Zoids, yes.
Oh, how much of Zoids have you seen? That's a relief.
Not much. Not much, to be fair.
Do you know which bit you saw? Because the first act, the first half of Zoids is a kids show. Second half is an adult show.
Yeah, I had some. I still have some on VHS. I taped it after Beast Wars. I never really totally got into it, but I did enjoy the mecha, the mechs.
Yeah, really good designs. Really smartly designed as well.
So I'm not sure what I saw specifically. I'd have to go find my tapes and take a look.
Okay, Zoids is really clever for me because it's one of my like standouts because again it's an adult show, happened to have been made as a kids show. You know, the first like 20 episodes they're actually like 10, 15, so it's much more child. But the entire arc was planned for episode 1, so it's a distinct narrative, and they build up the universe, build up everything, and then it stops. Act 2, it skips like 10 years. Now they're like 20, late 20s, and the girl character goes from being this girl to being this woman with wonderful boobs, and suddenly changes the way it's played. But that's like a part of it, and it gets really adult, not like adult, but like really complex and dark. But it's so organic and natural, and the politics is wonderful, and each of the Zoids, who are the fighting robots, have distinct purposes and designs, and you see them evolve, and I love the main chaps fighting with the Blade Liger, and the ending's really good, because it's so like built into from the first episode. It's very, very, it's like a proper narrative, and they didn't, the sequel show's not as good, but it's really good, and it's very, like, you have to get through the first half's not bad, but it's much more simplistic, but it's meant to be. But then you get the second half, it's really like, ooh. And I watched it like a couple of years ago. It really holds up stupidly well. I've got the Blade Liger as a miniature. I got it. They were meant to be like £100+, but I got one at I saw it for like 40 when I was a student still. I was like, I haven't got the money. I'm gonna buy it. Nope, I'm buying it. Booze money for it. Nope, I'm buying it because that's a deal you can't turn down. And I want to get a 3D model of it and do it on the show for Trekyards because I really want to like show you it and do it in 3D. It's like that's my Transformers. But they can't transform, except a little bit.
We got 3 more super chats. So one's for 250 rubles.
Thank you.
And it's the Zeta Project, ? Batman Beyond spinoff?
For some reason, I think there was a slight connection. Because, was he in Batman Beyond as well?
Possibly. I never really watched Batman Beyond. I couldn't get into it.
Yeah, Batman Beyond in the Zeta Project. Maybe. Yeah, there was a crossover. Maybe. Yeah, wow, Zeta was in the Batman Beyond. Yeah, wow, good job. That's awesome. There goes Batman character, maybe, universe. Or that's where they got and they decided to do a spin-off. Wow, that's awesome. Do you see Batman Beyond?
I said I couldn't get into it. I watched the first little bit of it, and I just never clicked with me. I hated the suit. I didn't like the fact there was no cape. I did like the old Bruce Wayne, but I just never really clicked with me.
Oh, so I was at the opposite.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he got a spin-off. He's a Batman spin-off character. That's amazing. Didn't even know that. Wow.
Nice.
Cool.
Michael Smith puts in $2 and says Raiders of the Lost Ark and Neon Genesis Evangelion.
I've heard of that.
I've heard of that, but
things.
I've never watched it.
And again, anime is a weird one. I've seen not many anime. That's a good art style. That's weird.
Yeah.
That's the only anime I watched 3. I've just looked at a little picture. I've watched 3 animes. You ready? I watched a little bit of Pokemon. I just so repetitive. I never got into it. Like it's just not a good show. You know, in my opinion. Yu-Gi-Oh.
I agree.
Yu-Gi-Oh is my show. Is my jam.
Yu-Gi-Oh is shit as well. But
brilliant.
Continue.
Really good. Good battles. Good monsters. Played the game. I was actually very good at the game. And it's great because it gets more. It grows like Harry Potter. It grows with you. So by like season 3, it's much more complex. And it's got some really good stories. And Yami's great. And Kaiba's excellent. And then I watched apparently it's a girl anime. I don't know. When I was like, I just watched it. It was on. I liked it. Card Captors. Also has cards.
Yeah, I hate that one too.
It's great. I really enjoyed it. The character's fun. The little flying monkey is fun. I like the story. I like the premises. The premises. I like the premise. Both are cards, which I didn't realize. Apparently it's a girls' show. Okay. Just because she wears pink doesn't make it a girls' show.
Exactly.
Yeah. Judge me if you want.
Yeah.
But I enjoy that. But they're all
Yeah.
more kids. I mean, they're all more kids shows than they're past your era. So that's I'm not gonna judge you for that.
Yeah, I could never get into them. My kids did. They had the Pokemon games,
exactly.
and
I mean,
I hated it because it's just you hear it all the time.
It's like if I went back and watched He-Man. It's like I would just see it for what it is. As an adult, I wouldn't see it for what it was when I would have been a child. So when you saw those shows, it was just, well, this isn't great entertainment. Oh, I think some seasons of Yu-Gi-Oh is genuinely good entertainment, but I also like the cards, so I like the card playing. So movies
Nano Reaper. Nano Reaper puts in $2 with no comment. Thank you very much, Nano Reaper.
Oh. Cool, thank you.
There's a lot of great stuff flying by in the comments. A lot of good shows that they've been mentioning.
My Parents Are Aliens. Yes, that was a great show.
Which one?
My Parents Are Aliens. It was an English sitcom. Very funny. Very fun. It was about two aliens that landed on Earth. And oops, they crashed. And so because their spaceship's very advanced, they managed to make it look like a normal house. And made themselves look like people. But they're really awkward and don't know what to do. So to think that to try and blend in with Earth, they adopt like 3 kids. But the house is still a ship, and the kids are fun and real good show. Very very kids show, but very genuinely clever with a good sense of humor. Yeah, I totally would have. Yeah, that's a good show. Good call out, Dan. Good call out. Power Rangers. Did you ever see Power Rangers? What's your Power Ranger experience?
Power Rangers is fucking awful. I hate Power Rangers with a passion. It's just so stupid.
But which?
All of them. Any of them. They're just they make they're. Not even no. I won't sit down and watch one because they're just insanely stupid. I cannot stand Power Rangers, and it's everywhere. It's all over. I know you see the Power Ranger guys in the conventions dressed up, and it's like, you look like a fucking moron. Okay, we will fight them. It's like, wow, just stop. I hate that shit. I can't stand it. Sorry.
Okay. I like one season of Power Rangers, right? Just one. And it's Lost in Space or Goes to Space, where it's not the same Power Rangers formula, which is, you're right, the exact same, well, you didn't say it, but I know you were thinking it, the exact same shit every single week. That is bullshit, It can be fun, but it's also stupid. The space one, they had a spaceship. They were lost. They had surfboards in space that flew.
Mm-hmm.
That's like Silver Surfer. Yeah, it's a thing. People have things. But they actually had weekly arcs. Like, it was actually a story. It wasn't just a villain. I mean, it was still probably a villain turns up, but it was like aliens, and it was actually a Power Rangers in space. Thank you. It was trying to be a thing, and the robot was fun, and the spaceship was fun, the sets were fun. Like, it was actually trying to be something rather than just Power Rangers. So that's the only one I actually really enjoyed. But I mean, a lot of the new ones are awful, or most of them are awful. But they are just literally kid shooty stuff.
Fetchy MVL says Power Rangers was a toy commercial. Well, so was Transformers, so was G.I. Joe, so was He-Man, so was everything from the 80s.
Transformers is literally, they said, make a cartoon. We're gonna make toys, make a cartoon.
Yeah, exactly.
Like literally.
That's what G.I. Joe was done for too, is to sell the toys.
That's amazing.
Yeah, they're just half-hour long toy commercials.
And yet, he loves me so much.
Mm-hmm.
Oh dear. That's some good stuff in this discussion, haven't we?
Yeah, brought up a lot of stuff I forgot about. Like somebody had mentioned Viper earlier, which is like a show about a Dodge Viper that's kind of like, it can change from a regular Dodge Viper into like an armored Dodge Viper. It was kind of like Knight Rider Light. That lasted a few seasons.
And someone mentioned
Michael.
Spider-Man 1994. Good show, nice and dark.
Yeah. Michael Smith puts in $2. Samuel, The Tomorrow People, 70 British TV show. 70s British TV show.
Although I'm searching, it's only getting the modern one, which is, I guess, a brand new one. No, I hadn't seen it. That's weird.
Yeah, there's so much stuff I gotta go back and watch now.
Again, anything like 70s, if my parents didn't have the VHS and didn't want me to watch it, you couldn't watch it. You know, I mean, it's one of those sorts of things. It's like, well, it wouldn't be on TV, and if it was, it wouldn't be on. You know, a lot of stuff. Like, I only watched Predator and Alien because they had a VHS. That's the only it's the only reason. I couldn't have chosen to watch it unless I had it. We had it. That's why those films I have a memory.
I remember Captain Power.
Oh, Fly the Navigator.
Captain Power.
Oh, Captain Power?
Captain Power was cool. You had the guns that you could shoot at the TV and get points because of the glowing elements on the TV. If you hit them with your gun, you got the points. And yeah, there's some cool experimental stuff in the 80s.
Was that made to sell toys, do you think?
Yes. Well, everything was. Visionaries, Silverhawks, Mask, Mobile Armored Strike Command for Mask was cool. Their cars could transform into different vehicles.
I have one more Blu-ray here that I want to see if you've actually seen or not. See if you like. You've seen Sunshine.
No.
Sunshine. The sun has gone dark, and we only have like 1 month until all life on Earth dies. And so they send this big spaceship with a big sun reflector to the sun, and they can only have one. Well, I guess there are 2 chances. And it's got Captain America before he was Captain America, one of his last films before. Michelle Yeoh, actually, it's got Captain Giorgio. Not that we really care that much.
Well, I won't watch it then, because I don't like her.
I mean, she makes no impact as far as I can remember. I didn't know she was in it. Yeah, I enjoy it. It's a sci-fi with some really nice music. It is a horror film, technically. It's one of those great ones where not Interstellar, the other one, where Sandra Bullock is lost, she's in space. Gravity. It's like Gravity. Where the sets are like really high end, like really hyper real high end, and so they'll spend a lot of time on the sets, so it looks really expensive. That worked really well. Kim Possible. Yeah, Kim Possible.
Somebody mentioned the Lost in Space movie, and I think we both agree that's kind of a guilty pleasure of ours. Yeah. I really like the movie. People hate it. I thought it was fun. It's a fun ride.
The thing is, what's to hate about it? Like, I get it's not the original, but what is to hate about it?
There's even homage to the original with the launch thing is the original Jupiter 1, and then the breaks away to show the new ship. That's awesome. That's something that's how you do that kind of thing right. It's so fun.
Brian Cox was a science advisor on Sunshine. That actually makes so much sense. It feels very genuine. But yeah, I mean, Lost in Space. I mean, it's fun. It's got good. It was great CGI for the time and model stuff. It's got a good mix. I like Joey.
Good actors.
Yeah, I like the concepts. The end's great. I
like Heather Graham. I like the mom. I forget her name now.
The dad is. I agree. The dad is the worst actor ever known to man. I mean, why?
He's kind of flat in that movie. Yeah.
Why would you? Like, what was his audition that made him the obvious choice? Like, anyone would be better. Anyone. He
was sleeping with the producer, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, he was a producer. Or he funded the movie. It's his passion project, so I'm in it. Why would you possibly hire that man? What did he possibly bring to that role? I've watched, I think, Nostalgia Critic's review, and it keeps cutting to his most famous line, "I love you too, wife."
Yes.
And it's like, oh, that's his emotive.
But the first part, the first big bit with the chasing the aliens or shooting down the aliens, last one to kill the bad guy buys the beer.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's a great movie.
Hold on, Brian said. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, sorry.
Another 150 rubles. Sunshine is very famous for Adagio in D minor. Adagio.
That's a song. Yeah, the song. Yeah, the music's brilliant. I love the music. It's very, very, very atmospheric.
Yes.
Yeah.
The original V.
I haven't seen it.
that as a kid and seeing their skin rip off and see the lizard underneath it. I was like, that's freaky.
I know this.
Last Starfighter, yes.
Last Starfighter's good. It's funny. I watched that one not that recently, but honest for our episode on it, I rewatched most of it, and the CG is very very new CG. But actually, if you look at the 3D modeling is pretty good on everything, but the texture work is not even there. So like it was they were doing the opposite to what most things were doing at the time, which was low polygon, high texture, trying to get away with stuff. They did the exact opposite. It actually holds up better because of that. But to remark,
Ziggy.
What?
Sorry, Ziggy says John Boorman's Excalibur, one of my all-time favorites. Excalibur is probably my favorite movie. I love that movie. The original, well, not the original, but Excalibur with Colm Wilkinson, and yeah, awesome movie. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. You were talking about something.
I forgot. It's fine. That's fine.
Oh, you were talking about the Gunstar, Last Starfighter, the textures.
Yeah, if they had some, it'd be better.
But yeah, they need to remaster that movie. Could you imagine?
It wouldn't be that difficult. I mean, the effects are pretty.
You should have the option of watching the original effects or remastered effects, because I think that'd be cool. Don't want to take away from the original team that did it. They did a fantastic job, but at the same time, you can put modern effects in that thing, and it stands up today. It's an awesome movie.
It's only cheesy in the sense that it's a power fantasy, it's a hero fantasy, and it's very very basic. It's a real basic plot, but it's that wonderful build of world, peril, plan, desperate plan, success. You know, so yeah, if the VFX were like frame by frame copied, but enhanced with ILM technology, yeah, re-release it like that. That's all you need. All you need. I'd love to see some of those really cool shots that were really cool. Yeah, for sure.
And the Excalibur I was talking about has Patrick Stewart in it as well.
Yes, heard of it, haven't seen it, but I hear good things.
It's an excellent movie.
Yes, I hear good things.
Westworld, the original movie, yes.
I want to see that. I haven't, but I want to.
It's good. It's good. I haven't watched that in, I'm old. 30 years.
That's quite old.
It's something I need to rewatch. I do remember having an impact on me as a kid when his faceplate comes off. It's like, I remember that kind of being terrifying. So I need to rewatch that for sure.
I have another do you love it or hate it film. The Battleship movie. Thoughts?
I've never seen the full thing.
Oh, how much have you seen? Slash why?
It was on TV and I was doing other stuff.
Okay.
But it's got a very Transformers vibe to it, original Transformers movie. And I thought I would hate it, but from what I saw, I actually really enjoyed it. It was something I wouldn't mind seeing from beginning to end at some point. I just haven't bought it. I haven't gone on my way to find it. But yes, I like it.
It's
but when I first saw it advertised, I thought it was going to suck.
Well, it's an absurd premise, but the aliens are great. It's got some good sequences, and it takes the battleship it's so serious that's what's fun about it. Like, they literally play Battleship at the end. And it's fun. Although I love Liam Neeson's in the trailers. He's in 2 scenes. He's the 4 scenes, but 2 types of scenes. I enjoy it. It's not a great film, but I enjoy the fun of it. And that's what I said at the very start. Enjoyable versus good. That's just enjoyable for me compared to good.
Yeah. Oh man. Final Countdown. Oh, Final Countdown's awesome. That's where the aircraft carrier goes back in time to World War II, right before the Battle of Pearl Harbor. And so you got F-14, a movie. You got F-14s launching, taking on Japanese Zeros.
Wow.
It's fantastic movie.
That sounds kind of cool.
And they're debating whether they should change history and stop the invasion of Pearl Harbor, or whether they should let it go ahead.
Yeah.
It's actually a really good movie. It's one of my favorites. It's upstairs in my DVD collection. Don't have it on Blu-ray or anything yet.
Now,
But
do you mean favorites or just your favorite right now? Because you say favorite a few times.
favorites is for me is very, very broad term. It's one that if I get excited when people talk about it, if they know about it, I get excited.
Yeah.
It's something that you know about that too. Oh, that's awesome. I could go watch it right now. And when I hear it mentioned, I want to go watch it.
It's a Stewart film.
To me,
it's a Stewart film.
Well, that just makes it sound like it's bad.
No. No. I think you've got some taste.
Oh, thanks, man.
Welcome.
Most of it's in my mouth and my taste buds.
Yeah. Okay, another one that like it or don't like it. Prometheus, the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts?
What do you mean the first one?
Well, I mean, there's not more than one, but like the first one of that set. There's two, but Prometheus.
I think it's great. I think it's great. A lot of people hate it.
Yeah.
With the creation of the aliens or whatever. I think it's fantastic to see the engineers and to kind of learn more about that ship. And I think it's a good movie. It's one of the first movies. I think it's actually the first movie that we got on 3D on Blu-ray for our TV. And in 3D, it's fantastic. I do love it.
And why? Why do you like it?
Because it's awesome. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's good. I like it. I don't know why I like it. I mean, the ships are cool. Yeah. Although running away from a rolling disc, you'd run sideways, not the cinema sins, the Prometheus school of running away from things.
Dumb people deserve death in films when they're just dumb. You know? Yeah, I
do like Prometheus. A lot of people hate it,
yes.
And I don't understand why.
That's why I polarized that. That's why I'm so polarized. It's a weird...
The Rocketeer! Yes, Jeff!
Oh,
sorry.
I hear good things about it too. You can tangent into that for a moment and I'll go back to Prometheus. That's fine.
No, talk about Prometheus and we'll go to the Rocketeer after that.
I like it. It was meant to be an Alien prequel. Then they changed it, but it's still sort of an Alien prequel. And so because it's now a wishy-washy, it loses something. That's why I like Covenant a lot, because it is actually an Alien prequel. It is full on, and it's got a lot... I mean, I quite like Covenant, personally. I think it's just a good, it's got... he does those bits well. It's not the best plot. There's some real problems with it, but, it's a really good sequence. And the ending's great. I think the ending's just, prime Alien stuff. And to see the new Alien... whatever. Prometheus is a weird one, and the fact that he, forcibly took it away from the Alien franchise, despite... The engineers, I like the engineers a lot, but it doesn't. I think the idea that Ridley Scott thinks it's so smart, he thinks it's smarter than it is, and it isn't, and that's a problem with it for me. He doesn't know what it is.
Yeah.
But it's a fun ride.
There's some confusing bits in it for sure. Some things that don't really pan out or get explained adequately enough for me, unless I'm just missing it. I've watched it a few times now, and you kind of pick up more each time. Yes. But I don't know.
I like it, but I don't think it's a great movie. But great, but it is good. That's why it's one of those weird ones for me. I would have the cinema being disappointed, but more I wish this was something else. Yeah. I wish this was better. I wish this had all those cool things. That's why I like Covenant more, because I got a lot of what I wanted. I thought it had some really clever stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow. I love that one as well.
I want to see that. I haven't.
Oh, it's good. Well, you might not like it. Some people hate it. I really like the feel of it.
It's meant to be awful, is what I've heard.
It's kind of like... Well, going back to the Rocketeer. The Rocketeer is fantastic. I love the Rocketeer. I love Dave Stevens' work. The comic book Rocketeer was awesome. The movie is so true to form of the comics, and just the whole World War II Nazi alternate technology kind of thing with the rocket pack. It's just It's such a great movie. I love the look of it, the style of it. It's just I don't know. I just the Rocketeer is fantastic. I have a Rocketeer always upstairs. Little action figure guy. I love him. Um, but yeah, that's definitely I wouldn't say guilty pleasure because a lot of people love it, but I really enjoy the Rocketeer. So
Yeah, I hear the game is actually pretty good, pretty faithful. Okay, I've got a personal love one, and people aren't super chatting, so we're not being stolen away. But do super chat. We'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. Had some nice support today, but we want a bit more. Would be awesome, and will force us to talk about stuff. Have you seen Equilibrium, the Christian Bale film?
I don't.
I kind of wish you haven't. Cause I'd love to watch that with you. It's a real like I really enjoy that film. Just something about it, and my dad does too.
I have not seen it.
Oh, okay. Save that as we'll watch it together. Because I really enjoy it. It's very stylized, lovely soundtrack, great. It was filmed in Germany. It's an American film filmed in Germany because they like literally okay. So it's a film that I watched when I got on DVD. I watched it. Okay. So I watched the middle third on TV. I liked it. I watched it from a certain point, and then I stopped myself. I'm just going to buy this. It wasn't that expensive on DVD, so I bought it. Great. 2 days later, I was like, oh, I can finally watch this film. Sat down. It was a Sunday morning. I remember. I woke up when I could wake up early morning, so about 10 a.m. Put it on till 12. Loved it. 2 commentary tracks. Put the first one on. Watched it again. Loved it. Put it on for a third time. Second contract. I watched 6 hours of the same film in one day. I've never done it for any film ever. And I enjoyed all 3. For all the lovely details. And I mean, that doesn't sound weird, like, to do. That should give you a sign of, like, the weird way I enjoyed it.
I don't think it sounds weird at all. I mean, there's lots of times that I do that too, where I'd watch a movie and then watch the commentary track right afterwards. But
okay. But that really stood out to me. The reason from Germany is because they wanted a very specific art style, and they didn't want to make it. They made some of it, but they looked around the world and they found one of the major pieces takes place in an abandoned / half abandoned German, like not Soviet, but like that era train station, which they then went in. It was freezing. They had to put heaters in and convert it into this really cool space, and it's got a great like art style, and CG's pretty good because it's minimalist. It's like set extensions and establishing shots, and like here's the world now down to the characters. And Christian Bale's great. He's so like no, I really enjoy that film. I want to get on Blu-ray. I want to get on 4K because I think I'll enjoy it. Yeah. What do you think? Are you sold on my pitch?
Sure. Yeah.
Not that I tell you that story, but I won't save the story. But I really enjoy that one. It's one of my Yeah. I don't think it's guilty pleasure. I think it's a really good film, but it's I just really enjoy it.
And they're mentioning Life Force, which is awesome. They're also mentioning Enemy Mine with Dennis Quaid and Lou Gossett Jr. Enemy Mine is one of my favorite movies as well from the 80s. Very well done. Yeah.
That's a good makeup. That's a pretty good makeup. What about Inner Space? I mentioned Inner Space. Have you seen that?
Well, the original Inner Space with Martin Short.
What do you mean the original? What do you mean the original?
Or Dennis Quaid with Dennis Quaid.
That's why I thought Dennis Quaid. What original? Is there another Inner Space?
I believe so.
What? I don't think there is. 1987.
No, the only other Inner Space I guess I know is the space TV show, but
I really like Inner Space.
We were on. Inner Space is great. Robert Picardo's in it.
Yeah.
He that's one I haven't seen in a long time actually. But yeah, it's fun adventure. Basically just fantastic voyage kind of thing, getting shrunk down inside the human body.
But way more character based.
Yeah.
It really is sort of irrelevant what happens. It's like about the characters, and it's really about these 2 guys. And it's weird to see that the guy who's on the outside, he's never a lead in anything, like the lead. So it's really great to him as the lead, because it's not Andy Dick. It's the one that looks like Andy Dick. Like there's 2 very similar looking actors. I always get mixed up. But I like this movie because this was one that I don't know if it had on VHS, but it was in that era. I think we might have recorded off the TV, but it's one of the few we had on a sort of watchable format, and so I watched it multiple times, and so it's very special. Like, you can just watch it and enjoy it. I love the little craft, and the stuff inside's great. Like, it's good model work, and it's and the oh god, the reveal at the end of the second suit, how evil it looks, and yeah. It's I really enjoyed the movie. I want to see 4K. I want it in 4K. You know, I want to enjoy it again in 4K. Go make it.
Yeah, that's when I need to watch again. We always, Silly and I always we're talking or we hear something. And it's like, we gotta watch this movie soon. We're like, okay, when we arrange a day to kind of watch it.
Right.
Whether we have it or if we don't have it, we download it or something. Even though we probably shouldn't. A lot of them I do go out and buy because I want them.
Yeah.
So.
Well, like I said,
like Logan's Run. When we decided we want to watch Logan's Run, I bought it off of Amazon. Waited for it to come in and watched it on Blu-ray. So
it's like I'm waiting. I missed both Ant-Mans in the cinema. I just did, but I don't want to. Amazon. I don't want to illegally download Ant-Man 2. I want to watch it properly, and so I thought, well, hey, I might as well watch the 4K because it's in 4K. I need to find eventually the reason to get the 4K version so I can enjoy it properly. It's like, yeah.
Ian Matthews puts in $5 and
thank
says,
you.
Ecstasins with Jude Law. Ecstasins.
I don't know.
I don't know
twice.
that either.
Oh, that's a cool looking post.
That I'll have to look up. But Gattaca is another great movie. I don't know if you've seen Gattaca.
I've seen bits of it. That's one I caught on TV accidentally because I tend to stop a film if I haven't seen it. I don't like watching films from the middle because it ruins the pace. Like, if you reveal the plot point accidentally, that's it. You've ruined the movie for yourself. What do you think of Jude Law? Because he's I don't know, confusing actor for me if I like him or not.
I like Jude Law. I have no problems with him. He's kind of like got that old school 1950s kind of movie star look to him. Yeah, I enjoy his performances.
I think I'm confused about him. He was an AI. It's a shit movie. It's shit. And I just remember him in it as a prostitute robot, and I link him in that film. I know I do, and I shouldn't. It's not fair.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this, you will hate my stupidity for this. AI was on the TV, right? I was really excited. I started watching AI. And I'm waiting for Will Smith to show up. I'm an hour in. And where are the robots? Where's Will Smith? It's not the one with him. I thought it was that movie. I watched almost the entire movie before I realized it's not that movie.
It's not iRobot.
It's not iRobot, but it's close. It's the same thematical style of thing. And so I'm an hour in thinking, what the fuck is this? What is this? What is going on here? And then at the end is just the most garbage thing you've ever seen in your life. It's awful. I mean, it's fun and like a wow. But it's garbage. Do you like that movie, AI?
It's been a long time since I've seen it, and I can't really remember if I like it or not. I remember Jude Law in it. I remember bits and pieces of it. The Blue Fairy or something.
Yeah.
It's one I need to revisit.
No, you don't.
I remember
No,
thinking
it.
I remember thinking it was deeper than I. It was deep, and then I didn't get it. So I guess I assumed I was just not enjoying it because I was bad. But if it's bad, it's bad. I guess.
I heard the behind the scenes of it, and it was made by two famous directors, but either one died or he handed the script off, and so it was made by a very clever filmmaker and then someone who wasn't as clever or didn't understand it. And so when you watch the film, it's actually like you can tell the two stories because he then pulls it in different directions. Either the second half was written by a different guy or the lens was a different guy, so it doesn't fit in. So it's a weird Frankenstein of films, and if you watch it, it does actually feel like that in retrospect. Whereas I really like Will Smith's AI film, Eyes on Me. No, what's it called? Will Smith's
iRobot.
I think it's a really fun film. It's not very deep.
It's a good movie. I really like that movie.
But I think it's really good. I mean, Will Smith is always good. I think pretty much is never bad. Oh my god, dude! Bad Boys 3 filming right now.
Yay.
Bad Boys 2 is one of the best films I've ever seen. I love Bad Boys 2. So well made. Bad Boys 1 is very different. That's why I like Bad Boys. But what, do you not like Bad Boys?
All right, don't remember much about it except for Tia Leone.
Bad Boys 2 is excellent. It's a film that keeps... It's a film that I wish that Michael Bay didn't do Transformers, because he was making good, fun action movies, and then he made Transformers and didn't stop making Transformers for 15 years. You know? He went for paycheck rather than creativity. Armageddon's great. You know, they're great. He can make movies, and he thought... It pisses me off because they were so good. He does action so well. You know, he does it so unique as well. Is he actually doing Bad Boys 3? Because who's the director of Bad Boys 3? I really hope it's... No, okay, it's new people. Damn.
Anyway, guys.
Oh. Yes.
I feel like calling that a quits right now.
Yeah, yeah, I've been tired the whole time. I think I'm pretty well, considering I was absolutely dead at the start of this. Well, who wants to be the last super chat, and we'll as we always do, last super chat, winner of the chat.
Well, Ian Matthews should be, because he donated twice by accident, so we got to give him
was it actually twice by accident? Oh.
Yeah, that's what one of the mods was saying, so.
Oh, Adam Boots, Independence Day. We'll end on Independence Day. Thoughts on Independence Day?
Oh, wait. Hold on, we didn't get the last super chat.
Oh.
350 rubles, Treasure Planet, very unique world design, literal spaceships.
I like it. I saw it when I was young, though, so I only have the vibe if I liked it.
Yeah, me too. It's another one I have to revisit. A lot of these you're saying, I've watched them, but it's so long ago that I need to go back and with fresh glasses. Okay, what are we talking about? What was the question you had from?
I think it was Adam Boots said Independence Day.
I love Independence Day.
Yeah.
It's a great movie. It was just on TV like 2 days ago. I watched it.
Yeah. Did you see the second one?
I did. I saw it once.
We just saw it actually at my grandma's. We tend to, because, you know, we don't go see that very often, quite far away from England. So whenever we go, we try and make it like, because grandma goes to bed at like 7. Yeah. We all go to bed at 1 or 2 now. And so therefore it's like, right, let's watch a movie. We never do movie night because we don't have time. So it's always a nice family thing. What did you think of Independence Day 2?
I rather enjoyed it, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the first half of it was better than the second half. But seeing the new tech and the fighters and stuff, I really enjoyed the design of that stuff. I mean, I thought it was really well done. A lot of people spew so much hate at it that I feel bad for saying I like something when I actually liked it. It's one I need to rewatch though, because I've only seen it once all the way through.
It's sad because that definitely was in the era of social media, and you can bomb a film by people hating on it, irrelevant of how good the actual movie is, because it's not as good as the original. But you couldn't be. I loved the world building. That was its best bit. It was really smart, really clever. It was too long.
A little bit, yeah.
The characters weren't great, and they focused on they focused too much on the dad character from the first one. Like, it was a weirdly, like, it had some really good stuff in it, and I really wish it had a third film, because the setup sounded really cool, actually. And the fights were good. It's really good stuff. It was a fun ride, and I remember watching it as we went. It was like really fun to watch. The cinema would have been, I think, really cool to watch. But it definitely needed to cut out a ton of stuff, or just refocus. But I love seeing all the characters back. That was great. All of them but Will Smith.
Yeah.
Although it's sad that, you know, we're set up to have Will Smith's son be a major character, and he's the most bland, non-character, and it's the other guys that are more interesting. Which is like, wow, they really didn't balance that film right, did they? Yeah. I liked it. I thought it was fun.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that when it was mentioned, because, like I said, Independence Day was on the other day on the TV, and I stopped and watched it. Yeah. And then I'm thinking, I got to watch number 2 again, because later that night they were playing number 2, and I'd come back upstairs or whatever, turned on the TV, and I saw the jets flying in, the new design jets, and I'm like, oh man, I got to watch this again. Give it another chance. So.
I want to actually, because both are actually on Blu-ray, 4K, because I love 4K now. I mean, I'd love to buy them both and like watch them in proper and the special features in those look incredible. The amount of effort they put into like documentaries and stuff. I think we'd love to watch back to back. Okay, cool. That's it, guys. I guess.
Yeah, we'll call it quits for tonight.
We've had
We'll talk. We will revisit this
Yes.
subject at some other live chat because hopefully when I have more energy.
yes.
Trent Collicutt puts in 549 Canadian. When are you going to do the Earthship arc?
What's the Earthship arc?
I don't even know. What
That's my. So the answer is what? It's hard to do a thing you've never heard of. That looks interesting.
That's the first I've ever heard of it.
Or seen of it.
I must be. We're gonna get slammed down in the comments for not knowing what it is.
The funny thing about media, right? It's important to you because you've seen it. You know, every bit of media is perspective based. I'm kind of thankful that we have so much in common. Honestly, that makes a lot of this much easier.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of. I don't think we have the same connection if we were really polarizing. There are a lot of people that are very like, very opposite, and so I'm quite thankful that we're so similar.
Yeah.
But also
yeah.
have distinct differences. But that helps.
Yeah. This is one we could visit at some point. I mean, I just got to learn about it, but it looks interesting.
So yeah, we'll come, and thanks Ian Matthews, you rock too. We will see. Stuart will see you tomorrow night for the post Discovery Live. I will be asleep. We'll see you for a long day on Friday. That I'm looking forward to because where was Discovery going to go? I've done so much stuff since that last episode. I don't even remember that episode very much. That such blah. Are you excited for episode 4?
Yeah, I'm always excited for new episodes of Discovery.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then we'll see you next week and all the other times. And thanks, guys, for joining in, and we'll see you then. Until next time, he is
Captain Foley. And he is
Commander Cockings. Yeah. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.